Aaron Forsythe from Wizards of the Coast has joined us. We're going to talk a little bit about Magic and where Magic is right now as far as 2012. I know the core set for 2013 came out not too long ago.
Yeah, just a couple months ago.
In fact, right around us is the big World Magic Cup going on. I hear the U.S. is running about second or third.
We were third coming into the team sealed deck portion. We are 1-1. We need to win this last round against Greece in order to make it to the next pod. So that's absolutely.
We were kidding that we would find the U.S. team, would get little U.S. flags and real quietly be going, U.S.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I played on the U.S. team myself before I worked for Wizards back in 2000, and it was an awesome experience. And it's great that we could have this here at Gen Con so people can see just the breadth of how much Magic is being played around the world. There's 71 countries.
Yes, represented. Yes, we heard. Tournament. We also heard that Team Japan had a little bit of a weather issue, and they had to actually rent a cab to take them from Washington, D.C. here to Indy.
That's right. That is some dedication. I'm not sure what happened with their plane or whatever, but the fact that they did that and drove all night and paid well over $1,000 to a cabbie to get them here, the sad ending to that story is that trip took its toll on them a little emotionally and mentally, and they did not get enough points to make it to the second day of competition. And they were a favorite. They were,
wow.
They're a very strong Magic country. Everyone expected them to do really well, but that just took it out of them.
Listen, Japanese doing well at a collectible card game.
Yeah.
That I don't see that.
Yeah, they love that these kind of games over in Japan. Yep.
Well, Aaron, I have to say that obviously Magic the Gathering needs really no introduction to our visitors, our viewers, our listeners. But I did want to ask, because Elliott and I, we played Magic.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Sure. We were big Magic players.
We really loved the game. And it's probably been about 15 years since we played. Sure. And I do know that there was a point in time, not too long ago, a couple of years back, Magic was kind of down.
Right.
And suddenly Magic is back. Magic is hot. It is just flaming hot. We'd like to kind of find out what would incent people to try Magic for the first time if for some reason they haven't.
Right.
And what would entice players like myself and Elliott who did enjoy the game but just kind of fell away from it.
Well, couple big things we've done. I think there's three big keys to why Magic has kind of pulled itself up and regained the throne of hobby gaming. Is that we have really invested in hobby stores in the last few years. We said this is the bread and butter of our business, and we recognize that. I think when we put out our online games, people were afraid that we were going to eventually kind of shift away from the paper cards and move everything online, and that stores weren't going to be part of our business model. But no, like face-to-face gameplay and getting together with your friends, even though like video games offer so much more visually and whatever, just getting together, you guys know this better than anybody else, getting together with your buddies and playing a game, still it's hard to beat that experience.
Nothing comes close.
We have invested a huge amount of effort into making sure that our stores, our game stores, are the best they can be for our players, and we have best practices for them to make sure that Magic players have a great time there. The second thing is that we have put out a video game version of Magic that's on iPad, it's on Xbox,
Elliott
it's on
plays that
Steam.
on time. Duels of the Planeswalkers?
Right, Duels of the Planeswalkers. So it is a perfect way, if you've played before or if you haven't, of relearning the rules, how the game works, kind of at your own pace, by yourself, no pressure. Because a lot of times, as with most hobby games, the community can be a little abrasive or a little intolerant to people that don't know as much as them. And so we wanted to say, how can we let you do this at home? Like, you don't want to be there. How do I attack? People are going to be like, oh, come on, dude. Like, why are you even here?
Right.
So learn how to attack at home on the computer. Take your time. Get it right. And then when you wander into a store for the first time, you're ready. You understand the terminology. You understand the rules, and you can just jump right in.
So you have a comfort level. Maybe you don't have all the strategies down, but at least you'll have the basics, the core mechanics, where you're not going to get laughed out of your favorite comic store in front of all your friends.
The game is very, very good. It's very, very robust, but it is very complicated, and it is too intimidating for so many people to sit down, especially against a stranger, when they don't feel like they know the rules well enough. They feel like they're going to get taken advantage of, or they're going to be laughed at, or whatever. We just wanted to say, all right, let's get the comfort level up at home by yourself, maybe with your buddy, maybe with your girlfriend, figure it out, and then you'll be ready when you walk into the store. You'll be a lot ready. And the third thing we did, we've changed our product mix around a little bit. We've tried to make the game more resonant. We had gotten a really kind of crunchy, gamery here's what you can do with cards and just card advantage and drifted away from the kind of like, we want this game to be about angels and dragons and wizards and elves and magical spells and make it feel that way. And we did that like Innistrad, which was the last block that we put out, has a very gothic horror feel. And the core sets like Magic 2013, we really cut back to the foundation of why did I start playing Magic? And it was because it was about casting a giant and then attacking and then blocking it with my wall of swords. And the stories that come out of those games were great, and we want to make sure that we still had all that. We brought that all back, and we put that at the forefront. So I think for people coming back to the game, especially guys like you that started back in beta, the current core sets and the current sets, they really have the flavor that game initially had.
I remember, and I'm sure Elliott will agree with me on this, we would go and we'd get boosters, and there was a little that excitement of opening it up, and not just to say, oh wow, this is such a cool card, but also look at the phenomenal artwork on these cards.
Yes.
And we would be like, wow, and every once in a while there'd be one where we'd be like, how did that get in there? But overall, I mean, it was just stunning artwork.
And our art's gotten better and better and better. Hats off to our art director, Jeremy Jarvis. I mean, he's out there, he's here at the show getting talent now, just doing portfolio reviews. I believe Magic puts out more fantasy illustrations per year than anything.
It's amazing, yeah.
And they've just gotten so good. And it is a huge draw for a lot of our audience, just the beautiful illustrations, and it's a huge part of our identity.
Do you still have the Magic Online where you can actually compete against other players online?
Yeah.
I know it's been a few years.
No, yeah, it exists. Magic Online is basically a transliteration of the TCG online. Same business model, same way to get cards, buy boosters, you can draft, you can play constructed, and it's great. We call it Magic Online it's Magic for dads, basically, because
that's where I've played it.
My kids go to bed, suddenly I got a couple hours, I can jump in and play a quick 8-man tournament, or I can do a draft or just play a casual game of Commander or something like that, where there's no store open at midnight to go to.
Right.
And it's been great for that.
Come on, Walmart carries a lot of them.
They do. Walmart and the big box retailers have actually become a bigger part of our business. I think so as Magic is kind of growing everywhere, it's been awesome for us. So yeah, we have Magic Online. We have Duels of the Planeswalkers, and the paper game is going strong as ever. So there's a whole bunch of ways to enjoy Magic right now.
What's cooking down the pike that you might be able to share with our viewers that they can be looking forward to in the near future as far as Magic?
So the next block that's coming out this fall, the first set is called Return to Ravnica. Ravnica is the most popular setting we've ever done for Magic. It's a city world where each color pair, so there's 5 colors in Magic, so that means there's 10 different ways to pair them up. White black, black green, and red blue. Each pair is its own guild, so there's 10 guilds in this city, and we brought all 10 of we did a set about them about 7 years ago, where each guild had its own mechanic and its own feel and its own legendary leader. And that set went over really, really well. Lots of multicolored cards, which people really like, and so we're coming back to that. And we've kind of updated it. We've been doing a thing recently where we have been going back to worlds that players have liked from the past and bringing those back. We did that with the Artifact world Mirrodin a couple years ago. We're doing it with Ravnica here. Like, we have such a rich history of stuff that instead of trying to make up new stuff every year, we thought players would get a kick out of us revisiting some of their favorite old places.
And building upon
right. And so that's going to be huge. The buzz around that is spectacular.
There is buzz because we have posted some gaming news pieces on our website about it as well. Yes. So, yeah, I have heard that people are really pumped about returning to that setting.
Yeah, so we've got for the pre-release, which is, I don't remember the date. It's got to be at the end of September or beginning of October. I don't remember. Check the website.
Sure.
dailymtg.com. There you go. You get a nice little box. So if you're new, it's a box that explains the flavor. You choose a guild, so you choose the Izzet guild, which is the red-blue guild. You get a little box. It's got your 6 boosters in it. It's got a letter from your guild master explaining the flavor of your guild. You get one of the booster packs is all red and blue cards to help you make your red-blue deck a lot better. And so it's just a terrific starting point for someone that maybe hasn't played in a few years or has been thinking about joining Magic. Great event to start at.
Really nice jumping in spot. Sure. Anything else that you care to share with our visitors about Magic the Gathering that maybe they don't already know?
Well, I mean, what you see here is kind of the culmination of like very hardcore play. These guys are the best of the best from everywhere in the world. I mean, Magic is not that. And that is a big part of it, but there's so much more. We have formats like Commander, which is a multiplayer format where you play with 100 card decks that can't have more than one of any card in it. You know, for the craziest variants, different gameplay with that. You know, we have all sorts of ways to play in stores, things like that. So if you've thought of Magic traditionally some sort of very hardcore, super killer competitive game, like we have really broadened our reach, and there's ways to play Two-Headed Giant where you have a teammate and you play together. Like I said, various multiplayer formats, draft. There's sealed deck if you don't own a lot of cards. So we've done a great job of offerings for people at every level, of every way they like to play games, and it's been great for us.
Good deal. Thank you very much.
You're welcome,
Aaron, for taking some time out to chat with us today. And go USA.
That's right.
DailyMTG.com.